What up, everybody? Passion here. Hope you are having a great day. Welcome to my little segment called My Media Mondays, where I talk about whatever comes across the brain or anything that has recently taken place or sharing a story or two. I had a friend recently. We were talking, and they didn't realize the level of my creativity. They only saw one form or fashion, and what's funny is they only knew me by a guy who took pictures at a local church. And it's funny because taking pictures is one avenue of what I can do, but it's not what I do. Can I say do on there? I don't know. And it was just funny because when I started talking about everything else I did, they were like, "Oh, I thought you only did pictures." And I've had people come up to me before thinking I do pictures full time. And the truth of the matter is I don't. I'm not very good with a camera. I'm only good at taking pictures of the world I see. I don't know if that makes sense because everybody, it's so funny because the tech nerds want to know what camera you're working with. And then some people want to know what the levels and what picture editing software you're using. And I'm still kind of new to all this. But over the last 3 to 4 years, photography has become another aspect of my creativity. And it kind of fell to me by accident. I was attending a service at church, and they were having an event, and I just started taking a couple pictures and trying to help out. One thing led to another. Then there was a couple home projects I wanted to do, and I had a very old Canon camera. But I ended up buying this Nikon D550 or 5500, and it was a normal camera with it came with an extra lens, and it's probably just an average DSLR camera on the market. But I needed a starting point. So I got this camera. I started using it more effectively. And I got to a point where I just wanted to practice more with the camera because I felt like I definitely didn't know what I was doing. So what I would do is I would leave lunch. I would leave work every day for lunch, and I would just go down the street, find a park, find maybe a junk area, and just take pictures and goof off with the camera. And just try to find different angles and different versions of certain subjects. And one day, I drove over to a cemetery, and cemeteries always seem to have this this weird. I don't know how to explain it for me, but I don't know. It's like you walk onto a cemetery and there's a calming that happens. It's a place that represents death, but man, there's a calming, there's a peace in a cemetery like no other. And so I went through there, and I'm a big fan of textures. I don't like things to look perfect or manufactured. I like textures. So I was going around being very respectful to the grave sites and stones and whatnot. But I was playing around with statues and trees and just, kind of like this different views of a cemetery, right? And I came across this angel statue of this little girl that I just kind of fell in love with. I was like, she's unique to me. So, I'm taking pictures, I'm checking the camera, I'm taking pictures, I'm checking the camera, and I'm getting okay shots. They're good quality pictures, but for me creatively, nothing really caught my eye. So here I am. I've been there for about 45 minutes, and I'm just down the street from my shop at the time. And so I was like, oh, well, I just killed an hour for lunch, goofing around, and I go to get in the car. Now, mind you, I've been walking around this cemetery, and when I found this little statue of this angel girl, I had been around this statue for a good 25 minutes. Different angles, different takes of this statue, right? I'm not lying. I go sit down in my car. I close the door. I reach up to grab my belt, and when I look out the window, I'm not very far from the statue. This bird lands right on top of her head. And here I am, and I don't want to spook the bird because I'm like, oh my God. I was like, that's a gorgeous image. And I'm like, crap, what I do? So I'm slowly moving my hands down. I grab my camera. I take the small lens off. I put the bigger one on so I can zoom out a little bit. And I ease up. It felt like 20 minutes, but it was probably just a minute and a half, right? I zoom in. I just started taking pictures. Then the bird flies away. I didn't get to aim. I didn't get to focus. Everything was on automatic. I was still learning the camera. And I got a picture that I truly it's one of my first creative shots. And when I say that, it's like I caught a moment. And this picture, to me, is so beautiful that, I don't know, there's something about this picture that I truly love. And the reason I'm sharing this story is I think a lot of people, when they are trying to do something, when they're trying to do something creative, if they're trying to accomplish something, they're thinking they're having to get it right every time. I just wasted my lunch hour. I probably took 60 photos. And it wasn't until the end, when I got back in my car, I'm ready to leave, and this one little moment happens. And I'm so proud of this picture. But it took for me going, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to go try. So I'm trying, and nothing's working. But I put myself in a position to learn something. And here I am. I'm probably overthinking the camera settings, the lens, the focus. Did I get the right model? Did I spend too much money? Did I spend not enough money? And here I am. I caught a moment that I'm super proud of. And it's one of my best pictures for me. And I'm just sharing this today because there might be somebody out there who's trying to accomplish something, and they think they're going to get it on the first picture, the first try, the first effort. But if you keep putting yourself in that environment, if you keep going and just experimenting, something's going to work out. And that's what I wanted to share today. I think a lot of people are struggling with this and they don't know what to do. Go out and try. Because you never know when you might have an opportunity that will come across you. And the only way it did is because you got off the couch and stepped into a world that you wasn't familiar with, and it worked. So that's my little story today. I hope you enjoyed it. I got some stuff coming up that I'm super excited about. And yeah, so there you go. So be cool, be safe, tie your shoes, and always live your passion. Peace.